Okay, so it's Big Daddy, and I'm going to make my world's famous stewed steak. So let's get at it. Okay, so I've got a bunch of my stuff out here, and I'm getting ready to get set up here. Here's how it looks. I got my crock pot over there, got my frying pan, and all my ingredients pretty much there. And I've got the top of the crock pot in there, and it's ceramic, and it slides in and out of the crock pot. And the fastest way I find to get it heated up is to run hot tap water into it. So that gets it 3/4 heated up. So it's half the battle getting the thing warmed up. Okay, so that's my little tip for that. Okay, and I basically got, I think, everything I need to get started here. Except I need a little extra room, but that's not happening. And I have cut from Canadian beef tip sirloin steak boneless value packs that I got at my local grocery store. So here they are, and Worcestershire sauce. Okay, give that a quick rub on the top. And turn them over. Okay. And again, a quick rub on the bottom. Alright. Now, here's the spices. Okay. Garlic powder, lots of that. Seasoning salt, good portion. Handy helping of Italian spice. Some chili powder. Okay. Some regular pepper. I guess I could have took the lid off of this to do that, but there you go. Some regular pepper and some sea salt. Okay. So, there we go. We're just going to mix this up real quick. I'm going to slide our frying pan over here, get it in the right spot. I'm going to turn my burner on to high, okay, just to heat up the pan. Once I got the pan heated up, I'm going to be knocking that down a little bit. I'm going to put some extra virgin olive oil right into my frying pan here. You can't see that, I know. Sorry, I'm just one person, so moving stuff around here as I go. And now I've got my pan starting to heat up. I've got my spice mixture, okay, and I'm just going to take the spice and I'm going to put it over the one side here. Okay? Basically, make sure it's 100% coated. Alright? And turn all these pieces over again. And we're going to spice the other side of the meat. Sometimes I do this in the frying pan, sometimes I don't, okay? But right now I forgot to start my pan, so I'm just going to do it while it's sitting on the side here. However, my pan is getting hot as we speak. Okay, and a little bit more because I like it nice and saucy. They're spicy. There we go. Like it spicy. Okay. And here we go. See my pan now. You can see the oil's moving around in it rather quickly. It's pretty much heated up, ready to go. So when I drop these in, you should hear a bit of a sizzle. Well, not quite. That's okay. It'll come pretty quickly. Oh, it is starting. Okay. One thing about this type of stove, and it's a Searing top stove, basically the burners are in glass. Okay. So there we go. We have our first meat down in the pan here. Okay. And that's basically what's happening right now in the frying pan. So now, basically what you want is, you want your meat to be browned on both sides. So, basically like that, nice and brown, and it's not all the way cooked through, just a quick sear more or less, and that's what you get. So then I've got my potatoes already cut up, and my crock pot heating up over here still, okay, and still all my stuff going over here. Now we're going to get our onions and our carrots ready while we finish frying up the rest of the steak, and we'll put them straight from here into the crock pot over here, and that's where they will stay until everything's completed, gravy and all, okay, and they'll sit in there for a couple of hours anyhow. Okay, so now things are going in, started in my crock pot. I've got the steaks already frying, and some are in the crock pot already. Okay, so I'm going to slice up some onions as I continue to fry my steak. Alright? Okay, so I've got a couple of onions here. I'm going to grab a knife. I'm just going to slice right into them here. Oh, this knife isn't quite as sharp as I would like it, but it's not too bad. Okay. I peel the onions real quick. This doesn't take me very long. I have to do this quickly though, because as soon as that steak is done, I want to get my onions right into the pot, and I want to chop up my carrots and get them into the pot also. Now, for this dish, like I've said before, I like my onions to be fairly big. Okay. So I'll just slice them just random here. Those ones were a little smaller than I like, so there, we'll just slice those in half, just like that. There we go. Yeah, there we go. Okay, here we go. I've got carrots chopped up in there. Alright. I got them moving around a little bit. Okay, they're just kind of in random sizes. This is the same pan that I cooked my steaks up in. Alright, so I'm going to take my onions, and I'm going to throw my onions right in there, okay? Now, I'm using extra virgin olive oil for everything. I've also got, here I've got a little bit of bacon that's left over from my Sunday morning breakfast. I'm just going to break that up and throw that in here in smaller pieces. This just is going to add some awesome flavor. I know it's only a little bit of bacon, but yeah, that's going to help, I'm sure. Okay. Now, I've got my leftover spices. I'm going to throw a bunch of them into here. I'm going to save a little bit for my gravy mixture. Alright. And then I'm going to stir this all up. And it's going to mix up with the olive oil and everything and get really nice and hot. Okay. And it's going to fry up really nice. And while I wait to do that, I think I'm going to get my gravy ready. Okay, so I'm going to make my gravy mix, and what I use for this is I have an old jar. I have some cornstarch and a fork, and I put 4 heaping scoops of cornstarch into my jar. 4 heaping forkfuls, okay? Then I have some all-purpose flour, and you can get blending flour if you want. Some people like to do that for sauces and gravies, but me, I like to use just all-purpose flour. And again, I'm putting about 4 heaping forks full into there. Okay? And I take my tap and I put my cold water on, because you have to use cold water for this. Alright? I'm also going to want some water for the pot as well right away, because I'm going to steam my carrots. So I fill this up about half to 3/4 full with water and cornstarch and stuff, everything together, and I just shake it until you can't see on the bottom any light white powder. So it's basically all shaken up. And it's all mixed, and it can sit there for a while. And that's that's going to be the slurry for my gravy, and it's going to be really, really good. Well, here we are now. I've got everything going still in this frying pan. My carrots, my onions, my little bit of bacon bits. Okay, and I'm going to take a couple of things and put them in here, like Worcestershire sauce. Yet again, more Worcestershire sauce, okay? Give it a heaping helping of Worcestershire sauce. I got some Frank's Red Hot sauce here. Big Daddy puts that shit on everything. Now 5 or 6, 7 seconds worth of squirting that on there, and everybody's happy. Okay, but it's not going to be spicy. It's just going to add a little bit of flavor and some soy sauce. Okay, and that's going to make everything in here go together quite well. And so I just mix it all together. You see how everything's sort of taking on the color of the soy sauce and the Worcestershire sauce and the Frank's Red Hot sauce together like that. Okay, now this is going on medium-high heat. I have some mushrooms, like I was saying before. I like to throw them in whole. Not everybody likes them. That way they're easy to find. And I put a little bit of water in the bottom of that. And now I put the lid on. And I'm going to steam that for 2 or 3 minutes only. That's all it's going to take, because I've already been frying it. And I'm going to put it in my slow cooker, and it's going to cook for a couple of hours in there with the gravy. Okay? Okay, so pretty much I'm down to this part here. Where I'm going to take the lid off, and I have everything bubbling away right in the pan there. Put the lid right over there, and just before I put this into the slow cooker, I'm going to throw a couple of heaping scoops of garlic right into there, like that. Alright? We're going to stir this up. Everything's going to go together real nice. It smells delicious. Okay, and then we just take the lid off the crock pot, and set the lid over here for a moment, and I'm going to put everything from the frying pan right in with our meat and everything into the crock pot, just sort of random like this. All right. And just spread it around like that. And the only thing left to do now is to make Big Daddy's famous. Okay, so now I'm going to make my gravy. And I've already made my slurry. So what I need now is I need some liquids in there. I'm going to grab some hot water. I'm going to put it right into my frying pan right now. Like that. And you see anything that was already cooked in there, it immediately browns the pan up. And I've got a container of beef broth here, and I'm just going to pour the entire container of beef broth straight into here. You can just go with whatever water or whatever you have, is fine, but I like the extra flavor of beef broth. And there we go, 1 liter of beef broth. Okay, I have some onion soup mix here. Take some onion soup mix, throw it in there. My leftover spices that I mixed up in the beginning, okay? Again, a couple of shots of Frank's Red Hot sauce. Put that right in the mix. A couple more shots of Worcestershire right in the mix. Okay? Get your jar of slurry that we mixed up 4 heaping forkfuls of cornstarch and 4 heaping forkfuls of all-purpose flour. Reshake the jar, okay? Which you didn't have to shake it as long as I just did, but there we go. You have a whisk. You have everything in your pan here. You turn your pan right up on high. Mine is right now medium-high, so it should be almost ready to boil now that I've put it up on high. It's going to be up there real quickly. You can see quite a bit of steam coming off that. Now, there's nothing stopping you from already going ahead and pouring your slurry in. But I pour fairly slow like that, and I stir as I go. All right? And I just keep stirring and stirring and stirring. Basically, you want to keep stirring, but I need a little bit of water left in here. All right? Just to get the extra. That way it helps clean the jar real quick. I like to clean as I go, so what I did was I just filled that jar full of hot water, and it can sit in the sink. I like to reuse the jar, and you can see now that the gravy is starting to thicken up a little bit. And once again, I've got garlic. I'll throw a little garlic in there. Tika. Okay. My dog is barking, and my faithful assistant, my daughter, is here, are going to let Tika out. So there we go. Now I've pretty much got everything in here, and all I want to do now is I'm going to bring this to a boil. Okay, it doesn't look like much right now, but after it sat in the slow cooker with the meat that I've already started cooking, and there's juice in there already from the vegetables and onions and stuff. As soon as this thickens up, and it is thickening up now, this is going to boil, okay? And it might be rather thick, but like I said, there is juice already in the crock pot. Oh, it's starting to thicken. Look at that. I can feel it on the bottom of the pan. You can see it changing color as it thickens. Okay, I know everybody likes a nice thick sauce. There we go. There it comes. It's going to bubble right now. It's going to boil. Okay, and pretty much as soon as it comes to a rolling boil, see like that, it's starting to boil all over. That's all I need right there. And right there I can stop the process of the heat coming on and just stir it through for another minute or so. Take the lid again off the crock pot, set it to the side. Give this another stir. Okay. Now, I'm going to come over to the crock pot. I've got a big spoon. I've got my gravy. And bam, right into there. Just like that. See? So everything that's in the pot here goes straight in to the crock pot. Just like that. Right on top of everything. And there's already juices and stuff on the bottom of the crock pot because I put a little something in there with the meat. You know, the meat has its own juice and everything. And there we go. So then we can just take it and stir it up just real quick here. Doesn't have to be fancy. It's kind of hard to stir deep in here right away. You don't want to splash all over your whole kitchen. No, see how that juice is under there and everything. It's turning out nice and brown now. Okay? And so basically that's all you have right there. And this is just going to sit here and make sure everything is submerged in the gravy. And it's going to be delicious. And be just like that. Okay? Now we put the lid on. And it stays there for about 2 hours, stirring it about every half hour. It smells pretty darn good in here. So, I came in now, it's been almost an hour since I started this. I haven't stirred it yet. A lot of times I stir every half an hour to 45 minutes, but it's okay if you leave it for an hour. It's okay if you leave it for 2 hours. It's a slow cooker. What's going to happen, really? But I do like to stir it during the process a couple times. Okay, so like I said, it's been about an hour now. And this is what I have. Okay. There it is, right there. Bubbling away in the slow cooker. Oh, does that ever look and smell delicious? Yum, yum, yum. Look at that. You know, and the best part about this is you can use pretty much any cut of meat. And it'll become tender, almost, you know, a lot of times fall apart on the fork, tender, and just fantastic flavor with the spices and stuff, and you can use different herbs and spices with it as you go. Try different things, make it your own, do it whatever way you like, okay? But this is the way Big Daddy does it, and I can't wait to feast into that in about an hour or so, okay? Thank you. Well, here it is, the final product. Got some mashed potatoes and gravy, mushrooms, carrots, and steak. And that steak is cut with a fork. I don't need a knife. All I have is a fork. That's it. So I'm going to enjoy this, and I'll talk to you later. Yummy.